this video, for the first time ever, I'm sitting down with Jeremy Pogue, a guy I used to work for. When I was an appointment setter for Jeremy, his company got to 2 record months in a row, which earned me $14,000 in my record month.
What kind of make me stood out apart from anyone else, and what made you pick me for this one?
Again, it came down to the hunger and the confidence, and like I could tell from your tonality that we're going to do whatever it takes.
Now, I help Jeremy's clients on appointment setting by hosting weekly coaching calls, and I place guys I train onto job offers from Jeremy's network. By watching this video in full, you're going to have complete understanding of what appointment setting is, what does Jeremy do, how does this industry even work, and what is actually required to succeed in this job. I'm gonna tell you this shit no one talks about. Showtime.
All right, guys, welcome to another YouTube video of mine. Here we are with Mr. Jeremy Pogue. Jeremy, pleasure to have you on my YouTube channel. Jeremy's the guy who I used to set for basically like appointment setting since July 2024 up until end of January. He's the guy who I hit my record month with, 14K, 3 months above 10K a month, pure commissions. I've done he got to 2 record months with me setting. His record month is $217,000. Guy helps online coaches scale with ads and setters. So Jeremy, bro, for like people that are not in the industry, what the fuck do you do? How does it work? What the hell is appointment setting? And what the hell was I doing for you to make as much as a doctor makes at 19 years old?
All right. Well, thanks for having me, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. And so breaking it down on like a very fundamental level, what I do is I work with online coaches who are great at what they do, but they suck at marketing and sales. Mm-hmm. And so they could be a great fitness coach, a great executive leadership coach, a great mindset coach, but they don't know how to market themselves and put themselves out there.
Gotcha.
So we teach them how to market themselves, teach them how to run ads to get new eyeballs, and then how to make content to position them differently from everybody else.
Gotcha.
And then how to get them on sales calls, and then how to actually sign them up and coach them and rinse and repeat and scale that way. So yeah, the way we do it is with ads and setters.
Yeah.
So
what are setters?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, it's really like setters are a way to set appointments with prospects that want to buy what you're selling.
Yeah.
And so, for example, like when I run ads, they're on my Instagram account. Yeah. And so we get people following me, get people responding.
And Jeremy has 40,000 followers on IG, has no fucking time to hit all of those people up. Obviously, he's busy with content, with business, with leading the team, with managing the team, with this, that. He has hundreds of responsibilities on his table, so he needs appointment setters. I was his appointment setter. He needs them to get into his IG account, speak on his behalf, and basically book them on a sales call. If they close, you get your commission. Simple as that.
Exactly. So Nicola was acting as me
Yeah.
in my Instagram, messaging people, getting them on sales calls, so then my sales rep would be able to actually sign them up and sign them as a client. So the best part about that for me as a business owner is, like Nicola said, I don't have to be on Instagram in my DMs all day because I don't have the time to do that, nor do I want to.
Yeah.
Right? And so I'm pretty much removed from my whole client getting process. And just last week I was in Mexico with my family, and my dad was like, hey, he's like, so you're kind of like taking the week off and like
you're still
down
making
here.
money.
He's like, are you still getting clients? I'm like, oh yeah, I have nothing to do with that anymore.
Yeah.
My ads get leads, setter books the calls, and then closer signs the client.
Absolutely.
And so it's a really cool process, but setters are so like fundamental to that. And that's one of the main problems that most of my clients have.
Yeah, like to go back to that. So like you help your clients scale, or like online coaches who are your clients, you help them scale with ads, setters, some other things as well, but like ads and setters are the main things. So like with ads, you help them get eyeballs. Why are appointment setters like necessary in that process? Like what would happen if there were no setters?
You'd have a lot of people watching your stuff, but no reason for them to want to take the next step with you. Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
Because people are going to make decisions kind of just on their own, and usually they're going to kind of drag it out. And so, for example, I have a lot of people.
I think it's also because it's expensive, right? Because like when it's a course at $200-$300, you know, you buy it off a website. But like online coaching, it's like, by the way, appointment setters in 99.9% of the scenarios are for high-ticket industry, which means products, online coaching or courses, they're like at least 2K, right? At least. So people like, would you buy something that's 2K Like you just follow the person, let's say, and they're selling a product that's $2,000. Would you buy that product without knowing what the product is about? No. Would you buy the product off the website?
I have.
Likely not. Yeah, you may have.
But
You may
after
have.
following them and watching every single one of their videos for 2 years.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, but
Right.
most people, they need to get on calls. They need to speak to a person, right? They need to get on a call, speak to a person, and that way they're going to be able to buy. And I think that's why appointment setters are fucking needed, you know?
Totally. Yeah, it speeds up the sales cycle.
Absolutely. Like, what do you think? And like, I know a lot of our clients struggle with finding very good appointment setters. Why do you think that is?
I think it comes down to two things. Number one is who the setter is, right? They gotta be hungry. It's a sales job.
Yeah, commission only.
And if you're on commission, that means like you have to go out every day with a spear and fight for your food.
Absolutely.
Right? And so some people just aren't that hungry. But when you're really hungry, if you're starving, you're going to do whatever it takes. You're going to spend as much time out in the wilderness as it takes with your spear until you find something to kill it, bring it back to your family, and then eat.
Yeah.
Right? And so hunger and drive is like one of the main things. And to be honest, today's society, a lot of people are soft. A lot of people aren't willing to work hard and get in the trenches,
Absolutely.
roll up their sleeves, get their hands dirty. And then of course, number two is like the skill set. A lot of people don't really know what they're doing. They don't know how to talk to people properly, which is why like training and mentorship is so important with that too, because you could figure it out on your own for a long time or just pay someone who's done what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
And then it just speeds it up like that.
Yeah, I've done it on my own, and I'm an idiot. I didn't know, like, I actually didn't know. Like I told you, I didn't believe in the online coaching industry before I started working for you. Yeah. Like, I actually didn't. Like, I was like, oh, no way, all these people are making so much money online. It's got to be a sham. It's got to be fake, right? So I thought, fuck, I'm going to learn appointment setting on myself, even though I saw, like, thousands of courses. And because of that, it took me a year and a half to get to make 10K a month and above. Meanwhile, if I had someone like me, like, you know, if I had someone like me in my proximity and they would be like, hey, pay me $5,000, I'm gonna teach you everything, I'm gonna help you get a job, and when you get a job, I'm gonna coach you. Fuck, bro. Would have been spit up, like, I would have got to 10K literally with my hunger in 3 months. Like, no joking.
Totally.
I would have speed up the process by like literally 6x. It's unbelievable what coaches do. Like, I just saw Max Schultz's message. Like, our client just got to 30K a month. He joined 2 months ago. He was at zero. Bro, you got him from 0 to 30K a month, like in 2 months. Absolutely insane. Yeah. Like, okay, now like our personal stuff. Curious, like when I applied, by the way, guys, to work for Jeremy, it was like in July last year, 2024. I knew that he's incredibly well connected. I knew the opportunity is great. Like, I never got that good of an opportunity in my life. I was like, okay, I must have it. I must have it. I spent 2 hours writing the application, and then Matthias, the head of sales, our closer, he sent me, I was in Barcelona 4 days after the application. I was in Barcelona 3 beers deep, and he sent me a message. He was like, hey, Nicola, I just read your application. I love your drive. Could you send a Loom video? I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna send it right now. Went to the apartment, 3 beers deep, sent the best Loom video ever, saying, I'm gonna crush everyone. I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna be the best. And then we hopped on an interview 2 days after. I was still in Spain, and I told Matthias I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get success, right? So, and then a couple days after, I spoke with Jeremy, and then I got hired. Curious, like, what made you pick me? What kind of make me stood out apart from anyone else, and what made you pick me for this job?
Again, it came down to the hunger. And the hunger and the confidence, and like I could tell from your tonality that you were going to do whatever it takes. And so, again, some of the other people that I talked to were just kind of like, they're a little passive. They're like, I didn't see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
Like they're a killer. They might be good, but they wouldn't be great.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's something that, like, I don't know if that's something that, like,
that you're born with, or that you're made, yeah?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think you can
Develop it?
absolutely.
I think so too.
Yeah, but most people just don't have it right now. So if you're watching this, like, that's the biggest thing. And,
Absolutely.
yeah. And what's really cool too about like Set-In is like it's such a good entry level thing for people to do to get into the space.
Yes.
Because you can get ramped up in a month. You can learn all the skills that you need in like a month or two, and then all of a sudden you unlock like a potential 6-figure role.
Yeah.
Doing it from anywhere just on your phone.
Absolutely.
And so like last year, this is really cool too. This guy just randomly messaged me on Instagram asking me how you can kind of get into the space or whatever, like younger guy. And I looked at his profile and I saw he was wearing the football jersey that I used to wear at my high school. I was like, dude, no way. I'm like, you went to this high school? He's like, yeah. And we were like 5 or 6 years apart, so we didn't go at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, dude, you should get in Set-In, like appointment setting. It's the easiest thing. And then I connected him with my old setter at the time, and he like kind of trained him up, and then landed a role with one of our clients. And yeah,
What happened a couple days ago?
Helped their client get to 100K a month, and now Braden just hit his first 10K a month, literally this past week. And I think how old is he? Like 19, something like that.
Oh no, he's older.
20. Oh yeah, no, he's probably like 22.
He's older.
Yeah,
he's like 22, 23.
Yeah, I think he's like 5 years younger than me. So yeah.
And now he got the apartment in the best building in Kelowna.
Yeah, we're neighbors on the same floor. And,
and he started with this like what, 6 months ago?
Something like that. Yeah, last year sometime.
Yeah.
And so, but what that does too is like it's such a good like entryway. So now he understands sales. He understands how businesses work.
Absolutely.
He's gotten really close with the founder and the sales rep and everything else too. So now like it's such a good springboard to whatever is next in his journey, whether that's
1,000,000%
a closer or a business owner.
Yes. People think it's okay. They only see like, okay, the money side. Money side is great. You can make loads of money, but like that intangible stuff is so valuable.
Oh yeah.
The knowledge you gain, the people you meet, the experiences you have. That's like, I would say, as equally as important, as equally valuable as money. Like it's unbelievable. You can transition into closing, you can transition into setting management, into being a business owner yourself, into doing the back end stuff, client success. You can do whatever. And like, I literally don't think there is any other skill set online that's more beginner friendly than appointment setting. Genuinely don't believe in that.
Yeah.
Because like, especially like, when you're working for a fitness coach, for example, when it's B to consumer, right? Business to consumer, like for you, it's a bit more complex. It's business to business. But like for companies that are like fitness coaching or mindset coaching, where you're speaking to like normal people, it's not business owners, it's so fucking easy. Dude, it's so freaking easy to set. Like you can make 5K a month like this. Like this. It's insane. But to go back to like me and you, like what I was setting for you, like how was it? Like when I got started, like what were my results? Why do you think I was able to do such a good job? Like apart from the hunger and that, like those experiences while we were working together.
Yeah, I think it came down to like just the inputs. So how much you were doing, how active you were in there, but also like you know how to talk to people. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you're talking to people, you're relating to people, you're connecting with them, you're showing them that you care, you have empathy. Yeah. And you're listening to their situation, and then you're presenting a solution. Yeah. And so if you can just develop that fundamental like communication skill, which is going to be beneficial for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. 1,000,000%.
Not only does it set you up now, but also moving forward. And so, yeah.
Yeah. And could you tell people, like, we hit 2 record months in a row, October, November, correct? Yeah. Absolutely insane. I was the only setter, Matthias the only closer. So I was setting the sales calls. Matthias, our closer, was selling them, like on the calls, closing them. And we had 2 record months in a row.
Yeah.
Fucking nice.
I'm curious from your end, what was it like? Because like, young guy in Serbia.
Yeah.
And then a month after we brought you on, it was like a month and a half maybe.
Yeah.
We flew you out to Marbella, Spain, to this $40 million beachfront villa for a week. Yeah. And then like Miami last month, now in Canada. All within what, less than
6 months, something like that?
Yeah.
9 months, 6,
like
7?
7, 8, something like that. Like, what's that like?
Marbella was absolutely eye-opening in the terms of villa was the most beautiful villa I ever fucking crossed my foot in. That's the first thing.
It was
So,
insane.
like, Villa was absolutely insane.
It was a palace built
literally.
for like an emperor.
No.
On the beach.
Literally like a fucking rock star lifestyle. Literally. Like I cannot imagine a better villa. But that was obviously fucking fantastic. But apart from that, what was eye-opening to me is looking people in the eye, like shaking hands with people who are making 50, 60, 70, 100K a month and seeing that they're no smarter than me. That was the biggest thing for me. I was like, this guy makes 50K a month. This girl makes 70K a month. They're no smarter than me. They're no smarter than me. Who the fuck are they? You know? I mean, all respect to them. I'm sure they worked hard, but they're no special. And they make almost $1 million a year. And here, like, my dad is like the smartest motherfucker ever, makes $50,000 a year. You know? I was like, shit. Like, if they can do it, I can crush them. So that was eye-opening to me. Marbella was eye-opening in that sense, that I came back to Serbia and was like, I'm gonna murder. I'm gonna kill all of them. Like, I've really had the fucking blood going through my veins. I was like,
Yeah.
not funny anymore. Not a game. Like, actually, these people are making some serious money. And like, I know for a fact I can get there for sure. So it was eye-opening in that sense. Miami, it was fantastic. Unfortunately, I was sick. I was coughing the entire Miami trip. But no, Marbella was definitely like the most notable one because it was my first trip where I like met all of these people in person, right? I'm like, they're nothing special, dude. You know? So that was my biggest.
That's what it took for me too. When I started to meet people in the space in person, it's different in person than online.
No.
And
100%.
you start to realize like, oh yeah, this person isn't any better than me. They've just been doing it longer and they just bet on themselves. They take a ton of risk on themselves. Yes. They put their money where their mouth is.
Yes.
They keep getting smarter and learning. They take action.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, as long as I do that for as long as it takes, I will get to where they're at and higher.
Yeah, literally. I think success is quite straightforward. I think it's so straightforward.
Simple, not easy.
No, definitely not easy, but so simple.
Yeah.
So incredibly simple. Like, I just think find a right vehicle for you based on your skill set and based on your goals. Once you find it, do your best, meet people, network, gain ideas from others, do your best, and that is it for a long time. Just be consistent. Like, that was for me. I don't know how it was for you. Like, yeah, a big background on you. Like, before you started this business, you started 2.5 years ago, correct? Like, before that, you were working for...
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, I started an advertising agency in my parents' basement. And I was running ads for mortgage brokers. And then I worked on that for a couple of years, and there was a grind to get up to 10K a month. I don't know if I even hit 10K a month. I think I hit like 7 to 8. And I had a whole bunch of clients. I was doing marketing, sales, like delivery, and it was a nightmare. I hated it. But I learned really good skills that I still use today, right? And so anyways, did that, and then I hired a coach to teach me how to grow. And then so I was signing clients every single week. And then he was like, hey, Jeremy, do you want to join my team as my head coach? Teach my other clients how you've been able to grow your agency. I was like, sure. And then didn't really think anything of it. I was just like, well, it's got to be better than running this damn thing because I was getting really burnt out.
Yeah.
And so anyways, started coaching, and I loved it. I was like, this is amazing. I get to talk to other young guys who are also entrepreneurs, building their businesses. We're on the same wavelength. And then telling them, hey, here's what I did. Try this. And then they do it, and they see results. Like, it was just so fulfilling and rewarding. And then his sales guy quit, so I started closing for him. So I started taking sales calls, learned how to sell, and then also running his ads. It was run ads, closing,
and delivery.
And then coaching. So doing everything basically except for making content.
Yeah.
And from there we went from, as a 4-man show, went from 40K a month when I joined to about 220K a month, 6-7 months later. And then, and then a few things happened kind of right after that, just kind of promises that were broken and kind of just forced me to leave. Yeah. And then I kind of flailed for a couple months, and then I started Summit, which is what we're doing now. It's been 2.5 years now. Went from 0 to 200 something a month in the first 8 months. Yeah. It was blasting. It was literally just me and a setter. Yeah. And I had a video editor that was like overseas.
So you were taking all the sales calls, doing all the delivery. I imagine you're working for like 12 hours a day.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was good. But again, there's seasons of that. Now, do I work 12 hours a day? No. But like,
Do you want to do it?
I'm thinking about work 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
Probably more than that. Yeah, like most people are trying to look for a way out, but if you just look for a way in, you go deeper on that, then like
Deeper in what?
in the trenches, deeper in the hard work, the growth, the challenges, like the struggle. And the more time you spend there, the stronger you get. It's just like a muscle in the gym. If you want your muscle to get bigger, just spend more time under the weight, under the bar. And like whoever does that and then puts more weight on top, so increased pressure and time under tension, your muscles are going to grow.
Yeah.
Most
Practice
people,
makes perfect, absolutely.
Yeah, most people, when they get a little bit uncomfortable, it's too much. And then they crumble. And that's why they don't ever achieve anything.
Yeah. And pressure makes diamond as well.
Yeah.
You know, like when I started working for you, it was like, I didn't know what a VSL was. Literally didn't know what a VSL was. And I was supposed to speak from the place of authority, on your behalf in the DMs. First 2 weeks, absolute hell. Hell, dude. I was like, my parents went out to vacation. I was like, no, I'm staying home. Like, perfect opportunity for me to be home alone. I was still living with my parents back then. Stay home alone. Like, I was literally working until 6 a.m. every single day. If I was not setting, I was learning. Just program, go through the program, go through your program, go to this. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? And I was so stressed because like I cannot afford to lose this job. I cannot afford. And then I think like once I got ramped up, like a month after, 3-4 weeks after, I was like, shit, if I was able to put in so much work at the beginning, let me continue with such work, let's see what happens. And then money, right?
Then money happened.
And money happened.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like we got, like when I left setting, we got one setter from South Africa, and he was given same lead gen, same amount of leads, same closer, everything the same, right? And he had me. I didn't have no one to ask for help, right? He had me, access to me, and he didn't perform not as near as good as I was. And I think it all boils down to hunger, point blank. How much input did you do? Did 100 touch points? Okay, why didn't you do 200? Like if there were no calls in calendar, why didn't you do 200? Why didn't you do 300? Like you have to work from the moment you wake up. You know what I mean? If you say you want it as bad, then fucking do the work that's required.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But that's the problem. Most people claim that they want something more than they actually want it. Because their actions don't reflect what they say their desire is.
I think that's such an important topic because I think social media diluted what people think they actually want. Now they all the fucking my generation, for example, like grew up during like social media and stuff. They all think they want a Lambo. They all think they want this and that. But yeah, that guy from South Africa, right? He didn't put in enough work. And the thing is, like opportunities, like opportunity to work for you, like B2B offers, where you're able to make 10K a month USD and above. Like you really have to, you know, like especially for the first couple of weeks, to learn everything about the program, to learn everything about the ICP, about the ICP's ideal customer profile. So like the leads that are coming in. So like what do they look like? What are their problems? What are the gaps that we are filling in within the market? All of that. So like first couple of weeks, the hardest part. But like after that, dude, like October and November, when we hit record months, I was working like 8 hours a day. It's not that I was working, you know what I mean? But I was available. That was the thing. I was like, from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to sleep, I was available. That really made a difference. But I think for people who are looking, you know, to just make a full-time income, like 5, 6, 7, you know, which is pretty nice. Like you can absolutely get there with literally 6 hours a day, you know, like 5, 6 days a week.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I know because now I'm coaching our clients in the back end, right? And I'm speaking, by the way, guys, now I'm not a setter anymore. Like I stopped with setting like 2 months ago. Now I'm coaching Jeremy's clients on appointment setting. Every single Wednesday I hold coaching calls and I'm answering to their messages on Slack, etc. So I'm seeing like what the processes look like in other people's businesses as well. And I see, for example, like if the setter hit up 50 people that day, I know for a fact they have not worked for more than 3 hours. I know for a fact. I'm like, okay, our generation is so lazy, they cannot even do 6 hours a day of work. 6 hours, dude. 6 times 5, that's 30 hours. 30 hours a week, if you cannot commit to something 30 hours a week, you deserve to lose, my friend. You deserve to lose. There is, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna lose, you're never gonna win. Like, I cannot believe people are so lazy. Like not even 10 hours, I'm not talking 10 hours, 12 hours, literally 6 hours a day, 5-6 days a week, and you're able to make up like 5, 6, 7K a month, for example, for a fitness offer, and like fitness company. Half of our clients are fitness coaches. Nearly all of them don't have they're not squeezing all the juice out of their leads. So they, like, if they had a great appointment setter, they would make more money. And their setters, it's okay. I don't know if it's skill set, like, I don't know skill set wise, but I know input wise, nearly all of them are not putting in enough input, you know? So I think that if you get the right knowledge and you get the right skill set and you get the right opportunity, if you don't get yourself to literally just put in the hours, you're never gonna win. Never. And you deserve to lose, in my opinion. Because a weird thing, and I was talking with Matthias, is I prayed to God to get this job, and then those first 2 weeks I prayed to God to make it out, like to get ramped up. And I noticed whenever I prayed to God and I have noble intentions about it and I put my absolute best, every single freaking time I made it happen. Every single time. Without a miss. So I think God rewards the hard working, absolutely.
How can somebody develop that kind of relationship
with work?
With God and work if they don't have that right now?
I'm not that big of a Christian, man. Like, to be frank, I see God as, like, you know, the universe, and, you know, I think universe is just, has a justice. So, like, what goes around comes around, you know?
Yeah.
That's my kind of beliefs. I think relationship with work, I don't think you can push someone to do so. I would just advise people to figure out what it is they want in life, you know? Like, what do you actually want? Do you want freedom? Do you want money? Do you want free time? Do you want to be able to work remotely? Do you want to work in person? Do you want to work in Serbia, or you want to work in America? What do you want to do? And the thing is, and there was this very smart guy who talked about the same thing, there is no such thing as laziness, you just don't know what you want. Because when you figure out what you actually want, you want to get it, right? And you do what's necessary to get it.
Yeah. What did you want when you were first getting into setting?
I wanted it all.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm a crazy guy. I'm not. I wanted it all, dude. I wanted the money. I wanted a beautiful apartment. I wanted a beautiful car. I wanted to make 10K a month minimum. I wanted to establish myself in the online industry as someone who knows ins and outs of appointment setting. I wanted to be a closer. That was my initial idea right after appointment setting. But now I'm launching my own business where I'm going to be training others how to do appointment setting, right? So that kind of pivoted. But
you'll be a closer for yourself.
Yeah, I'll be a closer.
So there you go.
That's right. But yeah, basically, like, another great thing is Jeremy's clients, they need appointment setters all the fucking time. And there is, like, I literally see more business owners looking for setters than setters who are actually proper. Like, I genuinely see that in the market. There is literally more business owners, more coaches looking for setters than the other way around. So I want to help people and want to make money for myself. Obviously, being a business owner is going to make me more money than setting myself. So I'm going to be launching that program very soon. And you guys are going to have access to all Jeremy's network. Obviously, if you're good, right? If you carry yourself well, if you actually put in the work, you do your best to show your best self on the interview, you're going to end up getting the job at one of Jeremy's clients. Like, question for you, like, when you are choosing a setter, like, let's say someone with no experience, they just finished with a coaching program, right? And obviously, like, you're now doing, like, 6 figures a month. Obviously, you're not going to pick a beginner, but let's say your business is at a level where you would accept a beginner, like you're doing 50K a month or something, like what would you look for? No, let's say someone passes the coaching program, they have no experience. What would make you hire that person? Like what kind of traits would you look for in order to be like, okay, hard?
So when I hired my first setter, I was only at like 20K a month. And I didn't really know what I was looking for, except for two things. Competency, so how well can they actually do the job? Now in the interview process, I didn't really know how to look for that. And so I was like, all right, we'll plug them in there for a week, see what happens, see if we get calls booked, yes or no. But my thinking at the time was like, well, somebody in my DMs is better than me not in there at all. So even if it's like an idiot, they'll be able to do something with it, right? And but then number two, most importantly, was like the culture fit. Like, do I actually like this guy? Do we have similar values?
Similar goals.
Similar goals, yeah. Does he have like a big vision or a big dream for what he wants? And again, it kind of stems back to hunger, right? Because I was very hungry. I was like, I'm not willing to tolerate and accept somebody who's not matching me there at all. And so somebody like, going through a program, obviously that is something I actually look for. It's like, okay, what experience do they have? If they don't have experience, what training do they have?
Yeah.
And do they have access to somebody to like actually coach them up? Because also it's like, I don't want to be like stuck coaching somebody all of the time because I got lots of shit to do.
Yeah.
And so if they already kind of come batteries included, total game changer.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of one of the first filters that I kind of look for. And so that helps a lot.
So like first filter is like coaching they received, like who did they receive it from? Like is it actually proper?
Or like experience.
Of
because
course.
there are some programs where I like see it and I'm like, oh, I've heard stories of like that guy's setters not actually being good. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's a negative filter.
Yeah, of course.
And that can actually do them more harm than good. But then if they come from from another program that I know of that's like actually like decent, I'm like, oh, okay, these guys are probably killers because I know other killers that have come out of here. And so it's really important who you choose and their reputation. That's everything. And so, and then from there, it's like, do I vibe with this person? Do I get along with them? Like, do I actually like who they are, and do we share similar values? Because we're going to be spending a lot of time together, working together. They're going to be representing me on behalf of like me in my Instagram, and so I want to make sure that there's full alignment there as well.
So, great, by the way, thank you for that. I totally, completely agree. Like, compensation-wise though, like how do setters get paid? How does that work?
When I first started, I was giving 10% commission on cash collected. So let's say my thing that I was selling was like, let's say it was like 5K. And so setter would book in a call, and then that person would pay. They paid the full 5K up front, 10% of that's $500. Boom, I'd send my setter 500 that day. Boom, immediately done. If they only paid half a month later, then I'd pay them $250 now, $250 next month when the second payment comes in. So it's as the cash is collected.
And you were closing the calls back.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but then as I grew, as I scaled,
you hired a closer.
Eventually, I hired a closer, but not for a long time. But as we grew, then like when my business got to the point where like we were doing 6 figures a month on a bad month, then that setter left, and then I hired a new setter, and then I just started at 5% commission, which is the standard. And so most setters kind of start at 5%, and then you can have some bonuses and stuff like that too to make sure that everyone's incentives are aligned. Yeah,
so let's like talk about that for a second. Like let's say that you're an appointment setter, you're booking like 3 calls a day, you're working 5 days a week. It's like 15 calls a week. Let's say out of those 15, 12 of them are going to show. 12 a week times 4 weeks, that's 48. And like an average close rate in the industry is 30%, I would say, right? So like that's
25, 30.
Let's say 30. Let's for the easy math. That's 15 closes. And let's say the program that you're selling is $5,000. 15 times 5 is 75,000, right? Let's say that like business is obviously in the beginner stages. If they're making only like 75, not really beginner stages, but setup would get anywhere between 5 to 10%, like you're gonna earn that month anywhere between $3,750 to $7,500.
Without, and that's not including any like
Bonuses and incentives, yeah.
Yeah.
Very sweet.
It's pretty
Book 3
straightforward.
people a day, yeah, it's incredibly straightforward.
Yeah.
Incredibly.
What does it take to book 3 calls a day?
I think like first off, like okay, good content from the business owner, right? Good enough like amount of leads. 13% lead to booked ratio is kind of like the standard KPI. So like if we get 10 leads a day, 1.3 booked, right? But like that's the standard. Now when I was setting, I was hitting sometimes more than 100%. Like we get not sometimes, like quite a bit of times. Like if we get like a handful of leads, and I book like it happened in some days, right? We got a handful of leads, I booked like 5 people. That means I booked 120%. 120, like lead to book ratio is 120%. But I would say most important parts is you knowing a lot about the program you're selling, knowing a lot about the business owner you're selling for, knowing a lot about the ICP and everything, and then like being incredibly personalized in every single message that you send, not making it robotic, making it human, being empathetic, and actually relating to people you talk to, because at the end of the day, just talking to other people, like just talking to people, that's the freaking job.
That was another bonus thing for you too. It's like when I brought you on, I sent you through my whole entire program.
Yes.
That's made tens of millions of dollars online.
Yeah.
So like now you have that knowledge.
Yeah.
For the rest of your life too. And so like that's another bonus is
No, there's so many intangible stuff that you like, dude. Like I know, like if you work, let's say a business owner is just starting out. That's the best for beginners. That's the best. Like business owner just starting out, doing like 20K a month, and you're their first team member. You're gonna get, because you're gonna be working with them daily. You're gonna get, very good, connected like very well. They're gonna give you access to this. They're gonna want to make you. Like they're gonna want to make you become the best version of yourself, because of that you're gonna be making a lot of money to their business, right? They're gonna give you programs, courses. They're gonna be educating you, this, that, teaching you about the business. It's incredibly valuable. Like I think like when people say they want to start their own business right off the bat, I honestly think that's stupid, because you don't have the necessary, like how many skills underneath. Right? Let's say, I don't know.
Lots.
Let's say drop shipping, right? How many things do you have to know in order to have a successful e-com store? Copy, marketing, connections with China suppliers, this, that, like I cannot even number it. There's got to be like 20 of them.
Oh yeah.
Better like learn one valuable high income skill, work for a business owner who is 50 steps ahead of you, work for them, help them with one thing that you mastered, and then with that, grow. After that, like learn this, then learn that, just slowly, right? Gradually. Like I think absolutely that's the way, instead of like launching your own business right off the bat.
You'll get a lot of results and a lot more money a lot faster if you do it that way.
Absolutely. And you've done it the same as well. I mean, no. Have you?
I started with the agency.
Oh, did you?
It was a grind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there were so many skills I had to learn.
Yeah.
So it took a long time before I saw anything.
Yeah.
But also before that, I tried 7 other business models over 4 years.
Yeah. Crazy.
So, yeah.
Okay, let me think now for a second.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up too.
Yeah, but like with what though?
How can somebody get into setting?
Okay, yeah, good.
I'll ask you that.
Okay.
So, how can somebody who's watching this right now actually get into appointment setting and like take it, they're ready to commit, they're ready to actually take it seriously? Like, what do they need to do realistically? What are the next 3 to 6 months going to look like for them?
Yeah, good question. I think like if you're like an average person who has like a job, right? Let's say you work a 9 to 5, and like if you have good communication skills and you're willing to put in the work, like you're apart from your job, you're willing to work 3 to 4 hours a day, you're miles ahead of anyone else, right? Because you're willing to commit, you're willing to work hard apart from your job, and you know how to talk with people. Like I would get coaching from someone who you like, obviously, from someone who you see the results are actually legit, they know what they're talking about. I would get coaching from them, because sure, it's money, but it's gonna speed up your process by literally a year, right? So get coaching by them, learn the most you can, connect with as many people in the program as possible, speak to as many people in the industry as possible, get your foot in the door with as many people as possible. Don't feel shy, just go attack, like be like a lion, go attack all day, all the time. And then that person who is your coach is, I assume, gonna help you get a job. Once you get that first gig, don't think about the money, just think about proving yourself the first job you get, because it's likely not gonna be that good, that first job you have. Maybe some instances it will, but likely not. Odds are it's not gonna be. You're not gonna make 10 grand a month your first month. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're likely gonna make 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe a bit more, but usually 2, 3. Do your best at that job, and then people are gonna hear about you. People are gonna hear how hungry you are, how hardworking you are, how good you are at your job, right? How ambitious you are, and then opportunities are gonna start flowing your way, and then you will have companies to pick and choose from. You'll be able to literally choose whoever you wanna work with that aligns most with your goals and your culture, with what you are as well. So I think absolutely that's the way to go. And if I was to turn back to 2023, summer of 2023, when it started with setting, I was selling tires in Texas and all that bullshit. Then I started with setting. If I was to go back to that time, I would 1,000,000% listen to what I just said. I would do the exact same. And I know I would have got to this position about a year before. So, yeah.
There we go.
Jeremy, thank you for being on my channel, brother. And all the things we have achieved together. I made, I don't know how much exactly, gotta be at least 60K off of you, off of commissions, gotta be. And I don't know how much the hell he made from my sets. Gotta be a lot of money. But yeah, man, look forward to, the future of us working together with me as a coach within your program, and with me as getting you to your clients, as many beasts as freaking possible. I want to make the best coaching program for appointment setters in the market. And yeah, man, fucking looking forward to that. See you in Kelowna in 3 months.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing where you take things, bro.
Thank you, brother.